Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat, and it's time for another message from Melissa. And this one's a big one. You know, when I was young, I was a gymnast. I was a gymnast. I started around the age of 4. I ended at the age of 22. When you're a gymnast, the Olympics is the best thing you can do. It's the biggest, it's the dream. It's the most amazing thing on earth. You get excited for the Olympics. You get excited about maybe going to the Olympics. You want to win a gold medal. That's what it's like, right? So growing up, the Olympics was the paragon of excellence. It was the dream. And when I stopped being a gymnast, I started working in sport. And for the first quite a few years of my career, I did major international sport events. I worked Olympic Winter Games. I worked Rugby World Cup. I got a chance to work at the Rio Olympic Games and do a Summer Games. And I had all these experiences with sport events. And, even after that stopped being the career that I was pursuing, I still, every time there'd be an Olympic Games, I'd really carve out time to watch it or, just to have an experience with it. It's always been part of what I do. Well, you know, this year, I thought about what if I went to Paris for the 2024 Olympic Games just as a spectator. And I started looking into it and I started looking into accommodation and I realized it would be exorbitantly expensive to try to find accommodation there. And then I sat with my bucket list, a very lengthy bucket list that has a lot of stuff on it and a lot of other travel. And I realized, well, I could do a very short trip to Paris, a very short trip, and do a little bit of Olympic stuff. Or I could do a much longer trip and do a whole bunch more things on my bucket list. And I sat with that for a little while and I thought, it feels like I did the Olympic thing. Check. It's been a dream forever and I did it. And it was a little hard at first to think about, well, what would that look like if I just let it go? What would it look like if I didn't plan everything around Olympic Games in the future? What if I just started doing other things that I want to do because I did my dream? How many times do you need to do your dream before you move on to something else? And I've gotten to a point where I realized I think I'm ready to move on to something else. As weird as it is for me, as strange as it is, something that I've held on to since I was a child, maybe I'm ready for the next thing. And I don't know, what are you holding on to? Is there anything that you're holding on to similar to that or something that maybe it's part of your career, maybe it's part of your personal life, maybe who knows what it is, but is there anything that even though it's positive, you've been holding on to it, but maybe you did it already? If there is, I encourage you to examine that and see if it's something you still want to pursue, or if you want to make room for some new things, some new experiences or adventures in your life. I hope it's something you think about, and I hope you'll let me know what those things are. If you test out some new waters, have a great month. Take care.